It's 2022, and Republican traitors and treasonous judges let an illegitimate government continue to rule America. Medical tyranny and police state tactics have been implemented by fascist leaders. Lockdowns, mask mandates, and vaccine requirements are their tools to control us. This is not about health or safety. It's about control. We will resist. We will never comply, and we will never back down. Welcome to Year 2 of America's Second Revolution. Here's your Director of Intel, America's favorite bald badass, Josh Bernstein.
Welcome back to the program. Today is January 6th as I'm recording this, and I've done about 4 interviews already today. So I don't have any notes, I don't have anything written down, I'm just going to have a conversation. And here's what I want to say. What is the definition of an insurrection? The definition of an insurrection, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is any act by an individual or group that tries to either overthrow or violently take over a government, according to what they have. So let's think about that definition, and let's put that definition into context. The first insurrection that we have seen was on January 20th, 2017. That was the day that a duly elected, legally elected president, Donald J. Trump, won the presidency and, of course, was sworn in. That was the day of his inauguration. The insurrection that took place on that day were from Black Lives Matter activists, Antifa activists, snowflakes that couldn't stand the fact that the American people chose someone other than what they wanted, which was an old skank in Hillary Clinton. And therefore, what did they do? They caused an insurrection. They broke windows. They smashed windows at Bank of America building. They firebombed cars. They threw Molotov cocktails. They violently acted out an insurrection. That's number one. Number two, where else did we see an insurrection? We saw an insurrection almost every single night in the summer of love of 2020 in areas like Portland, Oregon, where they firebombed a federal building, 100 plus times. That is an insurrection. What about the riots in Minneapolis? What about the riots in Chicago? What about the riots in Los Angeles? What about the riots in San Francisco? What about the riots in Seattle? What about the riots, all over in Miami, in Texas, everywhere? What about those? Those were violent uprisings meant to what? Cause civil disobedience. They were riots, okay? That is an insurrection. So, what was January 6th? January 6th was a peaceful protest. That's what January 6th was. January 6th was the equivalent to the Russian dossier. What do I mean by that? Well, it's very simple. When Kenkel's McPantsuit lost the election to Donald Trump, it was a shock to those that tried to set up that election for Hillary Clinton. So what happened? They needed what? An insurance plan, right? Well, what was their insurance plan? Their insurance plan was simple. A fake dossier, spying on the campaign, FISA warrants, lies, disinformation, all of that information, the Russia hoax, all of it, that was the backup plan to get rid of President Trump because he won the election. So in 2020, they were not going to risk that, okay? They hated this man so much because he did so many good things for the people and not for the politicians. Let's call it what it is. And so therefore he didn't play their games. He kept promises. He did things for the country. We were way, way better off with President Trump. Now, because they lost and they thought that Hillary was going to win, they said, whoa, wait a minute. No. We need to make sure. I don't care what the polls say. I don't care how good the economy is. I don't care what's going on. We are going to make sure that we steal the election. Okay? That was another insurrection. November 3rd, 2020 was the insurrection. January 6th was the cover-up. January 6th was the Russia collusion dossier, if you will, the equivalent of. Why? Because when we went peacefully to redress our grievances and our government, they knew that that's exactly what we were planning on doing. And so what did they do? They infiltrated that peaceful movement. The Department of Justice had their team in there. The Fascist Bureau of Intimidation had agents all around in the crowd. Plus you had the Capitol Police working with the other intel agencies and the Democrats, let's not forget. And then, of course, you had the outside groups that were planning and plotting to destroy everything that was going on with Antifa and BLM. So it's always the same bad actors. That was their insurance plan because they stole the election. And because they stole the election, there were a few, very few, but a few brave, patriot congressmen that were going to contest the results of the election, hopefully bringing it back to the House of Representatives. And they said, no. We stole the election. We've gotten us all the way to this point. We've had the state legislators working with us, Republican, Democrat, whoever. We've got the judges on our side to not take the cases because they know the minute they take the cases and they see the evidence, they're going to have to rule in favor of the president. We can't risk it. We need the backup plan. Well, what was that backup plan? It was a solid 2 to 3 weeks, probably, at least 10 days worth of plotting and planning by the intel community to make sure that they infiltrated this peaceful protest. And when they realized that these congressmen were going to try to contest these results and send it back to the House of Representatives, they enacted their plan. They pushed the patriots into the Capitol. They made sure that the Capitol Police let down their guard, let the people in. The whole thing was staged. Okay? It was an inside job, and this was the result. That was the result. So, when people call the big lie about the election, the big lie was January 6th, because January 6th was the cover-up. The big lie was November 3rd. Now, I'm going to leave you with a video. This video is so important. It's a little over 4 minutes long, and yes, it saved my life. It has saved hundreds, thousands, perhaps millions of other people's lives as well. And yes, it could save yours. Go ahead and roll this clip.
Zinc is the bullet. It kills virus. The only problem is the bullet doesn't get to the place where it needs to be. The virus is inside the cell, the enzyme is inside the cell, and the zinc on its own cannot get into the cell. So you have a bullet without a gun. Useless. Now, it turns out that there is a class of medications called zinc ionophores, or a class of substances called zinc ionophores, and their role, what they do is they open a channel, a door, that allows for zinc to go from outside the cell to inside the cell. And there are four of them that are readily available. 2 of them are prescription, and 2 of them are over the counter. The 2 prescription ones everyone's heard of, hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin. They're the guns that shoot the bullet. The bullet then gets into the cell, stops the virus enzyme from helping the virus replicate. So you have a gun and a bullet. Only a functioning unit. The synergy of the 2 creates a functioning unit. So in April of last year, Cuomo issued an executive order which was directly targeting me and my patients, because I was the only one in the state doing it, where pharmacies would not dispense hydroxychloroquine to patients. So all of a sudden, I had a gun and a bullet approach, but talk about gun control, he took away the zinc delivery system. At least he took away access to my patients. So I was forced by necessity to innovate. And I did more research, and on the NIH servers, of all places, I found papers saying that a substance called quercetin is a zinc delivery system as well. It's a zinc ionophore. To be honest, I'd never heard of quercetin, so I Google it, and I see it's over the counter. That was one of the most significant realizations in my life and probably in humanity. Why do I say that? Because now it was a cure for tyranny. Now, by the way, there are 2 risk factors to die from COVID. It's the doctor you choose and the government you live under. Besides that, there's no reason a person should die from COVID. So now you don't need a doctor and you don't need permission from the government. You can go to a pharmacy or you can go to a supermarket and buy an over-the-counter option of quercetin together with zinc and vitamin C and vitamin D. And together it creates a very powerful immune-boosting nutritional supplement. According to the FDA, I'm not allowed to make any claims except that it's an immune booster and nutritional supplement. So what I'm going to say is the following. Quercetin and vitamin C together form a functioning zinc ionophore, zinc delivery system. Zinc is what it delivers, so you actually need zinc as well. You need the gun and the bullet. And vitamin D, the studies all show the vitamin D3 levels between 50 and 70 virtually eliminate hospitalizations or admissions in the intensive care units. It optimizes the immune system. So it's not a COVID treatment, vitamin D. It's a general immune health, life health preventive strategy. So you need vitamin D, then you need zinc, which is the bullet, and then to form a functioning gun, you need vitamin C and quercetin. And I open sourced all that information. I let it out there. I needed people to know about it. I wasn't looking to monetize anything. And the interesting thing happened was I got 2 complaints. Patients were having trouble sourcing it because there was 4 different ingredients that were not always available in the same place. They had trouble finding the right doses. It was a puzzle that was a little too complex for people to put together. So I was asked as a necessity, as a favor to people, to produce something that has everything in one package. And it made sense to me. So with the help of my colleagues, we were able to produce a substance, a compound called Z-Stack, which basically has vitamin C, vitamin D, and most importantly, has quercetin and zinc. And as I mentioned earlier, all I'm allowed to say is that it's an immune booster and nutritional supplement, which it is.
God bless you all, and we'll see you on the next one. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. See you soon. Hey, Josh Bernstein here, America's favorite bald badass. Do you have a special birthday coming up? Or perhaps maybe there's an anniversary that's on the horizon? Or maybe it's just time to roast a good family member or friend. Whatever the occasion may be, you can hire me to do the job. Just go to the Hire Josh section of the website, pick out a package that fits your wants and needs, and I will customize that message for you. I hope to work with you soon. God bless.